Alright everybody, welcome to the very first video of Heathen Speed and Fab. On this channel we're going to be building a little bit of everything. Drag cars, off-road trucks, buggies, all kinds of stuff. The first car that we have for the first video is a 85 Cutlass. It's a big tire car and will be swapped over to small tire. Had a cage in it. I'm going to be rebuilding the cage. It's going to be a molly cage. We already did a little bit of work on it. Decided to make a video. I still have to cut out all the bar stubs, all the corners. Whoever had the car, they attempted a flat firewall or whatever. I'm going to do more trimming across the bottom of the window. Firewall is going to be moved back probably 4 or 5 inches. So motor could be moved back 4 or 5 inches. It's going to be a big block Chevy, a lot of nitrous, power glide. We're going to try something on this car that I've never seen done before. As you can see, the frame is already kind of a disaster from the last owner. But it had a lot of good parts. They just didn't know what they were doing. We're going to cut the frame off somewhere in here. And I'm going to tie in the front half of a new frame into the cage through the firewall. And we're going to do a Foxbody K member. So this thing will have long travels. It'll be set up a little different than a Foxbody on the location of the towers, but it should work out pretty well. The last owner said this car weighed, I think it was 2,800 pounds, motor, trans, ready to go. So we're hoping to be able to shave at least 250 pounds off the front end of this car. And like I said, we're moving it back, moving motor back and all that, at least 5 inches. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, here's what I got so far. I cut that panel section out to where I can get to this bar. And since we're going to be moving the main hoop back about 4 or 5 inches, I got to clean all this up, do an extension, tie into everything, so that way we have somewhere to land that main hoop on. Then when that's all done, I'll just cut a new piece and set it in there, re-tack it in and seam seal, and that'll be good to go. I've already done both sides. I'm getting ready to do this stub and these disasters up here. And we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. If you guys are wondering what I'm using to clean all these tube stubs off with, I'm using a plasma. What I find is the best way to do is actually nip out what you can, everything. Basically cut around everything that you can, get it as close to that tube as possible to where it looks kind of like that one over there. Then just come back in with a grinder and a flap wheel and knock it down the rest of the way. If not, you're trying to use a grinder and you're just chipping away little sections at it because you can't go all the way through it unless you have like a, say, 6-inch grinder. But I don't think a 6-inch grinder would be able to get to the back side of this without cutting into the frame rail. We don't want to do that. So yeah, just chip at it with a plasma, clean it up with a grinder, and you're good to go. Both sides. Underneath this panel, I got to see more of what they had going on here. Since we're moving main hoop back about 4 to 5 inches, I gotta do just a little bit of cutting and extend this so the tube has something to land on. So I'll do that after I got the main hoop bent. I just got done bending the main hoop. Got it. There is actually just wedged in there on its own. It's not welded or nothing yet. So my next step is to start bending the halo bar, I think. And we'll go from there. Bending halo bar and A-pillar bars and then dash bar, and then we'll see. I got the halo bar bent, and right here I'm getting ready to make some blocks to weld to the back of what they capped on the original frame rail, because I got to extend this back so that this main hoop will sit on something where I want it to. I want to show you guys this chop saw. I already posted a YouTube short on it. This is a Evo chop saw. It takes serrated metal blades. Now watch how fast it's Alright, so notice how I just cut it? That I'm holding right there is what I just cut off. It actually makes true cuts and it makes them quick. Well worth the money. I got the main hoop put in. I bent the halo bar. I got it put in. Right now I got the halo bar. The front of it just supported with a strap. We are notched and tacked in top corners of the main hoop. And I started trimming more of the firewall off. And it looks kind of a mess right now, but I think when I get it cleaned up to where I want it and have something fresh to start with, we'll be alright. But yeah, tomorrow morning I'm going to come back out, clean up my mess, and we'll get back at it. Alright, so it's a new day in the shop. The plan for today is to bend the A-pillar bars, dash bar, door bars, and this is going to be a 12-point cage, but it's going to have a funny car hoop in it. And I'll get back with you in a little bit and see how much we get done. Got the A-pillar bars in, fitted. Got the dash bar in. I'm doing door bars right now. I'm getting ready to start on the funny car cage. Alright guys, final update. Got the cage done, welded. It's in. I'll show you that in a minute. We have been thrashing on this thing for the last day or so, and we haven't had any updates because I've just been wanting to get things done, honestly. We got a mock-up block for whenever we go to build the front end for the Foxbody long travel stuff. And as you can see, everything is a freaking mess. Cage is done, welded. It's in. Ignore my plywood, I was laying on that. Yeah. So that'll be it for this video. Next video, I'll be cutting front end off and going from there. We took a couple measurements and we think that the front end of this frame is actually twisted a little bit, but we won't know for sure until we actually cut it and take a few more measurements. So stay tuned for next video. See how it goes.